Hi everyone, and welcome to your 7th lesson within the Professional Diploma in Website Design. Today we're going to be moving on to our Digital CV Part 3. We're almost there. And I just wanted to quickly talk about our last fun fact. So did you know? And we spoke about the fact that there are 400 billion active websites at the moment, and that there are only 7.7 billion people on the planet. Now, I had a lot of people asking me this. That is 52 billion websites per person on the planet. That is insane. Like this is a bit of a Kate's mind blower. So there's definitely enough websites out there, but we're going to make even better ones and put all of those other 400 billion to shame. And who am I? My name is Kate Savage, and I'm your course educator. And the quote of today is, "An investment in knowledge pays the best interest." And that is from Benjamin Franklin. Now, you've all made a bit of an investment into learning more, and it's always important to remember that knowledge is one thing that no one can ever take away from you. Now, speaking of the importance of knowledge, don't drop out. Success is going to require effort and commitment. We are here to help make things as easy as possible for you so that you can attend your lessons and succeed. All you have to do is pretty much don't drop out. It's really simple. You'll see improvements on every single lesson and get closer to your goals. And all we want for you is for you to achieve these goals. Let's talk lesson objectives. So today what we're wanting to cover is image galleries, column layouts, and responsive design. So altogether it's going to be a lot of fun, and most of it is going to be in our demos. So you're going to get to familiarize yourself with the code better, and we'll work along together. Now that we've had a chance to talk about our lesson objectives for today, I just wanted to let you all know that I've got a very special surprise for all of you at the end of the lesson. And this surprise is going to help you land your dream jobs. So stick around and you can find out what surprise I have in store for you. Let's talk portfolios. So it's finally time to do the section I'm sure you are all very excited about. Today we are going to be doing our portfolio page. Now, isn't this nice? Look at what a beautiful blank slate we have. So we have our little hamburger menu ready to go up here. But other than that, we've got an empty slate, and we are now going to go and put in a portfolio gallery. So the first thing we notice is that I've just gone ahead and put all of this code in so that you're all not watching me do the same thing a million times. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a div class. So we've got our JavaScript here that makes our hamburger menu function, and just underneath that we are going to say enter. And we are going to say that we want to make a div, so we're going to call this div, and it's going to be a class, and we're going to call that main. So div class main, so that separates it from the rest of our work. And remember to keep your divs in line, because this is going to get difficult. Yeah. Anyway. So we've made our first div. Now let's go H1, and within H1 we're going to put our heading. So let's say see the world through my eyes. There we go. And we can probably make it easier for everyone to see what I'm doing. There we go. So see the world through my eyes. Okay, and we see it pop up over there. Okay, the next thing we want to do is go and create a Div Content Container. So we're going to go Div Class, and that's going to be our content. And then within here we are going to go and choose our images. Remembering again, keep these in line. So we are going to say img source is equal to, and we can go and pick our URL. And for this one I chose, but I was naughty, so this is going to be wedding. Just makes your life infinitely easier later on. So that's going to be wedding. There we go. And our alternate name for this can just be happy. Okay. And then we're going to do some, so now I mentioned previously that you can do in-text inline CSS. So what we're going to do here is a bit of inline CSS. So now we've said style, and that's signaling to the HTML that we are now beginning CSS. So within here, we are just going to say that the width is going to be 100%. So within this content section, we are using 100% of our width. There we go. Let's just see what this looks like. Yeah, so it's looking a little bit funny and it's sitting down here. But don't worry, everything's going to be fine. So we've got image src, and we should tab that in. And we can ignore our smushed image for now. And then we can give our little image a heading, and that is going to be heading 2 wedding. Yeah, so don't remember, we haven't got CSS yet, so that's why everything looks awful. So now we're going to create a grid, and within our grid we're going to put another 4 photos and 1 more big one. So this is going to be our main photo. So we can comment that in here. Whoopsie. So this is going to be main photo. And then over here we are going to now create a grid, so like a table, and within this table is going to be the rest of our photo. So table grid smaller 4 photos. Okay, so within here we are going to go ahead and now we need to, so our table is made up of columns and rows. So here we're going to go div class is equal to row over there. And within row we also need to create a div class column and a div, you see what I mean? And a div class that is going to be our content. So this is now quite a good example of how it's nested. So these 2 line up, those 2 line up, and those 2 line up. So now within content, so our content is where our image is going to live. So we need to go img src, so image source, and this one I think was a it was architecture, so it was this building. And then we can go alt is equal to colors because it's colorful, and it's equal to so colors, and then again we're going to say style, and within style we're going to say that the width is 100%, and then what we're going to say within here is use our little semicolon like we do within our normal CSS, and within here we are going to say that the height is 37%. I will show you why in a moment. So let's save that. And you see everything's looking very strange. It's because we've not yet built this full table. Eek. Okay, so we've got our div class container up here. So we've got quite a lot going on at this point. I'm just talking now for the sake of talking. There we go. We could also just do that. Sorry, I've just tidied this up so that everyone can see what I'm doing. Okay. Okay, so we've now got our architectural buildings one. And then our heading 3 is going to go in here. And that's going to be architecture. Okay, then the next thing I want to do is go in here, and we are going to say okay, so over here we are going to now go and define these again, so column and content. So we can copy this and paste it in here. So now we've got column and content again, and we're going to do essentially the same thing. So img src, we're going to choose, and this one we can do nature. I like the wolf, so the wolf is happening, and his alt can be wolf. There we go. And then remembering again, now we've said style, so that's allowing us to do some CSS. Okay, then we're going to add in our portrait, so we're going to go in here and go img src, and that's going to be portrait. I'm going to take this happy lady, and we're going to say space alt equals happy, and our style is going to be width to 100% and height is equal to 37%. So this serious habit of mine to close that off with a semicolon. Okay, so now we've got that one done, so we've got our portrait picture up here, and then we just need to give it a heading, so h3, portrait, and we can save that, but we're not going to keep looking at this because it's saddening me. And then let's go into the next one, which is our wolf. So we're going to take this again and go in line, and we can copy paste that, and img src, no, and that's going to be wolf because he's so cute. Okay, alternate name is going to equal wolf, and our style is going to equal width 100%. There we go. And this one's going to be h3 nature. So at this point, this is our weird little photo gallery. Imagine going onto a web designer's portfolio that looked like this. Anyway, such horrors. Alrighty, and the last one, we're going to do another one of these big images. So we've now got, and then food. How could I forget food? So let's go here. Let's just tab you along. There we go. The last one. And hopefully you all know now, img src. This one's going to be our food picture. There we go. Food, and the alternate name is equal to food, and the style is simply going to be width 100%. And last but not least, our last main heading one. So we've got food now. So after food, we need to then close this div. We have a few divs to close actually. So let's have a look. So we've got this opening div, and we have no closing div. So let's go in line with him. Go div. We've got this div and no closing div. So guess what? Another div. And we've got one more. Whoopsie. So we've got div div, div div. So then here we need div div. Div div and div div. Okay, so these are all little V's. And then the last one we want to add in is going to be another one of our nice heading ones. So this is just going to say div class content again. And within this one we are just going to have img, get that down there, source, and I like the wedding photo. That one, okay, and alt can equal to goodbye. And our style is simply going to be width 100%. There we go. Okay, so now we've got all of our photos in this terrible terrible format. So let's go into our CSS and see what we can do to fix all of this. So in here, our CSS for our hamburger menu is already here, so we're just going to space this down so we've got some room to work, and then we're going to start off our coding here. Well, I think we can all agree it's time to get started on the CSS, because this currently looks really quite shameful. So let's get started on that. So you can learn a new trick now, that if we put the little star in, that then selects all elements within our website. And the format that we're wanting to use now is going to be called, we're going to use a box. Remember, we're doing like a table. So we're going to say box sizing is going to equal border box. So that is just going to determine the behavior of all the elements on our website. So box sizing, border box. And then we're just going to continue as normal. Well, let's see if this has done anything yet. Okay, at this point, we're now just missing our images. Whoopsie. Well, it's there. It's just hiding. So let's go in here and we can type in body. And we want to choose a background color. And let's have a look. We can do a bit of a grey. You can always change this later. Then we're going to do padding, and that's going to be 20 pixels. And our font family can be Arial black. Okay, anyone who's worried about the capitals, they aren't going to matter, so don't stress about it. Then we called our main section .main. Let's go and have a look. So here we go. So we're now referencing main. So dot main. Now we want to set the maximum area for our site. So we're going to say that the max width is going to be 150,000 pixels. And we're going to set the margin to auto. There we go. So dot main, max width, and let's see if that's, okay, so we've got our color and no pictures at this point because we've now made them invisible. Anyway, let's quickly do the easy stuff and then we'll get down to that. So H1 is going to be font size 50 pixels, and well, that should actually just be fine, 50 pixels. There we go. Now, what's the next thing we reference? So we've referenced main here. So let's go ahead and reference row. So we're going to go dot row. And within here, we are just going to make a margin. So margin is going to be 8 pixels by 16 pixels. There we go. Okay, next is column. Let's go and edit that. So that's going to be dot column. And we're going to send this to float left. And we're going to make the width 50%. So 50% of our little surface area. Okay, so we can see now that these have moved. So our pictures are there. We just can't see them yet. Okay, so there we've got 50. Next we've got dot row, and this is going to be then dot row after. The next thing we want to do is dot content, and within dot content we want to just set our background color. So let's go background color, and this can just be white. I think that'll look nice. And we can just make our padding 15 pixels. Okay, so when we refresh, this is what our site's looking like at the moment. So that's looking a lot better. But we can still make it even better. So let's go in here and we're going to go dot content. Ooh, don't know what I did there. So dot content. And then we need to set a background color. So let's go background color, and that can be white, and we can add in padding, which can be 15 pixels. I think that's looking a bit better. We haven't got a label here. Let's quickly fix that. There we go. Food styling. There we go. Okay, and back into the CSS. We've just done our content, and now we're going to add in what we spoke about earlier, which is some responsive design. So how we're going to do that is we're going to go at media, screen, and we're going to set the max width to 900 pixels. We're going to do that. There we go. Let me just bring this down a bit. Okay, and then we're going to set this to column. And the width is going to be 50%. Okay, There we go. And then the last one we're also going to do is going to be, so essentially what this is going to do is it's going to make it 2-column layout here instead of 4. So we can see here we've got 2-column instead of 4, but we're actually going to now add in another one that's going to fix this. So let's go in here, go at media, screen, and max width is going to be 600 pixels. There we go. And open here, and then it's going to be dot column again. And within here we're going to set that width to 100 pixels. 100%, sorry. And let's see what this does. Okay, so this is looking quite nice at this point, I think. Let's just have a look here. If we go into full screen. Okay, so these two are looking a little bit squished. So let's go and fix that. So if we go back into our HTML, here we've got 37. Let's change that to 50. And let's change this height to 50 as well, see if that improves it. Okay, it's a little bit stretchier here, but the full screen image looks a lot better. Then that's got quite a nice effect. I think one thing we do need to go and fix is our heading 3s. Let's do that quickly. So within CSS we can go further to the top. So let's go H3 and we can change that font size and let's make it 30 pixels. See if that improves anything. So we've got wedding. What was wedding? Wedding was a heading 2. Let's make it a heading 3. Then we can have a bit of uniformity. There we go. So see the world through my eyes, wedding, architecture, portrait. It can be portraits, nature, food, styling, and then we've got the end of our little marriage story here. So I think that looks very cute. And quite very simple design, but it's giving you, it's allowing you to focus on the elements that we want people to focus on. So I think that's quite nice, and it's quite a nice basic introduction to portfolios. So as a reward for completing lesson 7, I'm going to show you how to get your CV just right. So let's go and talk about the different sections and what key things you should be considering when you're putting information into your CV. The first thing is your personal profile. Now, when you are writing the short paragraph for your CV, the things you want to consider are who are you and who is the person that you want to show off to a company that you are. What are the traits that you have that you would like to communicate to them? And what do you have to offer? What sets you apart from other candidates other than it just coming down to your basic skill sets or your advanced skills? What makes you unique? And lastly, what are your goals? So where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you want your career to go? You want to make this clear to potential employers because they get to see where you could grow within their company and that you also have set high goals for yourself in the future. Very important thing to consider is tailor your CV to the specific job you are applying for. So you may be looking for web design jobs, but one particular company may interest you, and it's important to go and read their job descriptions that they've said and take out keywords that you can then put into your CV so that when they're reading it, the whole time they're just going, oh my word, this person knows X, Y, and Z that we've asked for in our job advert. The next thing people struggle with is personal information. So what do you need to tell potential employers? Well, the key things will obviously be your full name, your location and whether you're willing to move for your job, an email address, and a contact number. A lot of companies would prefer to call you so they can get familiar with your tone of voice and also for what kind of person you are, because we all sound very different in the language we use in an email in comparison to how we speak on the phone and with general communication. And lastly, include a link to your LinkedIn profile, because that just allows potential employers to go and see who you are connected to in the industry, and also see any stories that you've shared and a more in-depth look into things they would find on your CV. Then when talking about your education, you want to ensure that you've got the institute's name, the qualification, the name of the qualification, the level, and the year. So if you've got a master's degree, you're going to want to say that. If you've got a diploma, and then it's also very important to specify the year, because a degree in IT 10 years ago is not going to be as relevant as a degree in IT last year. And then any special achievements. So if you won any awards during this time, you definitely want to show that off. You've worked hard, and it just shows that you're willing to put in more effort than just getting the diploma or degree. And then also make special mention of any modules that you've done that are specific to the job you are applying for. So if you did web design in university, then you definitely want to mention that if you are applying for a web design job. Then where a lot of people get lost and make a few mistakes is when mentioning your key skills. Now within here, you don't want to go and write down every skill you've ever learned, because people are going to get bored and stop reading it. So you want to make sure that you're using keywords. Then you want to limit your list, because there's no point putting skills in there that aren't relevant to the job into your key skills list. You need to make sure they are relevant. Then again, read the job advertisement. Everything you need to know is in there. They have told you exactly what they want. You need to just let them know that you have all those skills, or hopefully most of the skills that they're looking for, and just show them that you've done your research on them as well. Let them know that you've gone and looked at their website. And lastly, don't forget soft skills. It's never a bad thing to mention that you're a very good listener, or that you work well in a team. You don't want all of your skills to be things that you're qualified in, because a lot of the skills we have can't be taught, and we learn them from our cultural upbringing or our friends and family, and they're things that a lot of other applicants may not have. And the last thing where I see a lot of mistakes is check your CV for the 1000th time before you send it. So your checklist before you apply. Run a spell check. It takes 2 minutes and it'll avoid any embarrassing mistakes in your spelling. Make sure that your formatting is consistent. There is nothing worse than a CV that starts in one font and ends in another. Then also make sure that in your footer you've said when you last updated your CV, because if someone's getting your CV from 2016, you want them to know that they can email you and ask you for an updated version. Check your references, make sure that the numbers haven't changed, and also it's never a bad idea to let previous employers know that you are going to be putting them on your reference list. This way they're not caught unprepared if they do get a phone call. And last, and I'm going to drill this into your heads, read the job description one more time. And also a nice thing to do is to ask a friend or family member who've got experience in a similar industry just to read your CV as well. I think with all the tips and tricks you've learned in today's lesson, in combination with the amazing digital CVs that you're all building, I think we should have no problem getting you all a corner office in no time. Finally, when you've finished your 4-module course, because let's remember, this is really only the beginning of your journey. Whatever your goals are, you will then be able to enjoy your passion, which I always find the most important. You'll be able to share your work and be proud of your websites. You'll become even more creative and see more possibilities. You can showcase your hobbies and interests. I know a lot of people who've built websites around baking or photography, anything. If you'd like cars and you fix up cars, you could build your own website there. There's really no limit to what you can showcase on a website. And set your web designs apart from the rest with your own personal approach. We're all such different individuals, and that's what makes this world amazing. And it's always fantastic when someone takes a bit of themselves and puts it into their work. Next, because it pays the rent, increase your earning potential. Perhaps you have a greater ambition with your web designs now and after this course, You could supplement your income with some side work within web design. You could do part-time work as a web designer. You could earn back money from your designs. And you could offer a retainer for ongoing design work. And this is basically when you do design work for a company and they pay you a monthly fee, and then you keep their website looking amazing and update photos and their designs as they need it. And then you could also start a web design blog and monetize it. And then third, you could start a new career. So become a full-time web designer, which is just the dream. You could link your work in web design to fashion, journalism, nature, food, whatever area you want to succeed in. Every company out there at the moment has got a website and they all need help. You can build a portfolio like I've shown you to do now in Module 1. You could basically live, work and breathe web design, which sounds like heaven to me. And maybe you could be like me and teach web design. But there's always a but. If you drop out, nothing's going to change. So this is what happens if you decide to finish here. No more spending time with me and learning how to web design. But hopefully you're going to keep going and keep seeing changes. If we learn one new thing every lesson that you can go and try and that improves your web design skills, why not find out 32 new things you didn't know before you started this course? But do remember that there are others out there wanting to do our courses. Time is running out. So enroll now and get your discount, because if you change your mind in a few weeks, that discount's not going to be there. I know a lot of you students have been emailing in, talking to our student guidance counselors, and also messaging in saying that they want to do this course. And in order for us to keep this amazing hands-on approach with all of you, there is limited availability. So my advice to you is to not drop out and to keep studying to get skilled and achieve your goals. And I have a very special offer for you if you're looking to save money, but either way, just don't drop out. We have a huge discount for those looking for 3, 6 and 12 month subscription packages. Right now, you can get 12 months for the price of 6. Yes, 12 months for the price of 6, and the average student studies for longer than 6 months, so why not get 6 months free and save some money? And you can gain skills and earn some more money as well, so it's an investment in your future. This means that you can complete this course comfortably and affordably and go on and complete many other courses in the faculty or across Shaw Academy. The 3 and 6 month packages are also great, and of course 1 month plan is the easiest from an upfront cost perspective. But if you can afford the 12 month, it is the best value for money. But the key is don't drop out, achieve your goals. Here at Shaw Academy, our mission is higher education at lower cost. And we provide education that is more convenient, flexible, affordable, and interactive. And we are also internationally recognized education. So you could go anywhere around the world with your qualifications from Shaw Academy. The world is changing and education is not changing fast enough, nor is the average person. We don't have time to sit in a classroom for 9 hours of the day to learn a fraction of what you could learn in one 45-minute session with me or any of the other educators. We do not have patience to not get answers to our questions. Why should you have to wait? Well, here at Shaw, we are here for you when you need those answers. Alright, coming up in your next lesson, we're going to do a sneak peek into Lesson 8. You'll learn about some very handy advanced formatting that you can use throughout your site, and we'll be doing this on your careers page. And for your lesson challenge, you can showcase your personalized portfolio from your digital CV by posting it on one of our social media platforms, and you can do so there with our link to our Facebook page. Otherwise, you can hashtag on Instagram. Congratulations, you've now completed Lesson 7. I hope you all had a great time and learned something new. Please feel free to send us any feedbacks and suggestions that you may have, and you can do so at support@shawacademy.com. Also, please remember to rate the lesson so that I can gauge how much you've enjoyed the lesson and we can make improvements, or we can just leave things the same depending on your feedback. Just another reminder that success requires effort and commitment, and we are here to make things as easy as possible for you so that you can succeed. So don't drop out. It's really that simple. We are here to help you achieve your goals. Thanks everyone for attending lesson 7. I cannot believe we will already be moving on to lesson 8. I hope you're all having a great time building your own portfolios and your own CVs, and I can't wait to show you all these handy tips and tricks in lesson 8. Bye everyone.